Hey there, Variety here. Welcome to today's video in which I'm going to be doing 10 tips to get ahead in Fantasy Tales Sword and Magic. Usually I would do this type of video closer to the launch of the game, but this time around I've decided to wait a while so I could, give you tips based on extensive gameplay rather than tips that I've picked up from another server. So today, I can pretty confidently say that I've played at least 100 hours. And a lot of these tips that I'm going to give you today, I've given in a way that it doesn't overlap with my other videos, so you're not watching the same thing over and over again. Today's video is going to be aimed at just giving you small bits of information, honestly, that I wish that I knew while I was playing, which would have saved me a lot of effort or time had I known that it was available. So let's start with tip number one. So the first thing is your backpack. Some of you may know, although you may not know, here is your backpack space. And you may see that I have a lot of backpack space. And the reason for this is that I didn't know about the other storage. And you may be thinking, well, warehouse, sure. But initially you only get 2 warehouses. What I didn't know is that if you click up here, you can actually buy more warehouses with silver. I didn't know that. And because I didn't know that, I spent an astronomical amount of silver buying all these slots. I think I was paying a couple million silver per 5 slots. So I don't know how much I spent, but definitely in the tens of millions of silver getting inventory space because it was total hassle. But yeah, so if you open up the warehouse, you can buy more slots. I know it says 8 million there, but for the first bunch of them, it only costs like smaller amounts of silver, right? So I'd recommend getting at least 5 or 6 warehouses. And the best thing probably about it is you can hit quick store and it'll store any items that you have in your in your warehouse from your inventory. It'll throw them over. Extremely helpful for inventory storage. I was blown away when my guild member actually told me about that. I couldn't believe it. Okay, so next up is using your currency. So if you go up here and you hit currency information, you can see all the currencies that you currently have available. These are generally very, very important. But for this tip, we're going to be talking about experience points. So currently I am above level 50, so this scroll is a biolab. If you are a lower level, this would say a lower level dungeon. What this scroll does is it gives you an extra attempt at the dungeon for the day. So whatever your dungeon is, doesn't matter. Come in here, buy your voucher, and use your voucher to go through your dungeon another time. The reason this is important is because the dungeons offer valuable items, such as items that give you extra abilities on your weapons. Like I sold an item for, I think it was 360,000 gold for running the dungeon. So it's really important that you run the dungeon because the loot is so rare. Next up, let's talk about checking events. Surprisingly, many people in my guild didn't actually know this, me neither, until we discussed it. So there are many events in this game. Many events. Not just events that you see in here, but many events that are based on a timer. If you actually go down here and click on week, you can see not all, but most of the events. There are a couple that sneak through for some reason that are not on this list or some that double up. However, most events will be here and it'll help you keep track of, what's going to appear because some days like the weekend are way more important than some of the weekdays. Just use this and then close this down and look at the time down here and this will tell you, when the events are. Save your treasure map. So I'm going to open up the event information real quick. So I probably don't have any, no, because I just used it on the event. But if you open up the event and scroll down, here we have maps. So in this game, you have blue maps, purple maps, yellow maps. And they're very tempting to use. And I understand why, because they give you very good loot. Very good loot. So you may be tempted to blast them all. But I would recommend maybe not. If you have a high luck on your horoscope, you consider using them, for a higher chance of getting items. However, I believe this is the 3rd event that has had a challenge that says dig for treasure. Look at this, dig for treasure 80 times, right? To get more of these and to get more rolls. So when hold on to the, blue treasure maps that you're not really using, or basically don't spam them when you don't need to, right? Sit on them until an event comes up. Because so many events are dig treasure and you cannot just make maps appear. So you're going to need them, right? So sit on your maps. Now, this tip is specifically for free-to-play players. All of my guides are aimed at free-to-play players because people that buy can just, kind of buy their way through. But my tip here is if you open up the mall and go to exotic treasures. Are you in exotic treasures? Where are you? In here somewhere, I swear I will find it. There is a fishing rod. Here we go. It's called a copper fishing rod. So the copper fishing rod will give you +4 luck, which I believe is an extra 5% per point. But it's going to give you, if my math is correct, an extra 20% chance of catching good fish when you are fishing. Even if you decide not to fish early on, that's okay. You'll be collecting your fish daily through, the shop or buying them through the mall. Eventually, you're going to want to fish because fishing will allow you to get extra items, for example, which will feel like you can trade the items to get reputation. You can use the store. Basically, fishing is important, right? And this rod increases your luck chance. You're not going to get a better rod unless you buy it or you fish. I am currently what level am I? I am currently level 27 in fishing, and I'm still trying to fish with a better rod, right? So you're definitely going to want to buy that rod if you actually decide to fish. Okay, number 7, let's talk about the growth menu. Now, if you go up here, it becomes stronger. You're going to see a bunch of information here as to your progress. Keep in mind, you kind of have to use your head. Don't just read this off the screen and be like, bang, I have to put all my currency into that. Don't do that. The game is not that smart. It can give you a general guide. It can poke you and be like, hey, your score here is a little bit lower compared to other people on the server, but there's a lot of things it doesn't take into account. So for example, here, the equipment boom. It says small progress, right? It said small progress when this feature wasn't even unlocked, but the game doesn't tell you that, right? So that's what I was saying, you have to use your head. For example, you could go down here and click on the Tim's Healer, and Tim's Healer will give you some advice to help you with your character. Now, for example, here, guild contribution can be used for researching guild tech. Okay, cool. Let's open this up, and here is the guild shop. But what it was actually telling me to do is if you open up your guild tabs, guilds are very important, by the way, go to benefits, go to guild research. In here, it's basically encouraging you to dump all of your points into here. And I understand why it tells you to do that, because it's extra stats. But what it doesn't mention is that contribution is important and that you should not be dumping it all into here, right? This is what I'm saying. Use your head. Use it as a guide and information, but do not follow it precisely. Otherwise, you are going to regret it. Okay, let's talk about the Seed Island. So let's jump to the Seed Island really quick. So the Seed Island will have cooking on, okay? I believe at level 40, cooking is going to be unlocked. Now, I believe I touched on this just gently earlier, but the reason that cooking is important is for a bunch of reasons. I have done a cooking guide, so if you want to, know more about cooking, you can go and click on that video and have a look at the spreadsheet. But cooking gives you items that boost your other things. So let's go up to the pot, for example. So, if we go down to, I believe it's a burrito. Look at this here. So a burrito increases your chance of getting rare stat lines on your armor when you're making it, right? So that's obviously really important. You're making the gear to get these stat lines. And here's a booster to get more likely. Or down here is the shrimp, which will give you more luck when you're fishing. So you're trying to fish up the rare items. So these items boost other things that you're doing. And they also give combat buffs and other things like that. So, it's important that you do your Seed Island and, unlock your things. That's the general tip here. Do your island. I'm not saying grind it into the ground. You have to do it every day, that kind of thing. But at least bounce in and take care of your missions located over there, as that will be most of what you need to do to get along with cooking. The reason is because you need to unlock these things over here so you can make the items so you can cook. Okay, choosing a server. So, many of you probably don't realize that you can join a server. I believe this still works, but you may be watching this video 6 months from when I actually create it, and it may not work at that point, and if it does not, I do apologize. So what you can do is if you hit photo and you take a photo, down here, anybody above level 30 in the server gets this invite code. And if somebody uses this invite code when they try to join your server, it'll ask them for the code. You can use that code and get in even though the server is full. So if you have any alts or have any friends that you want to play with you and the server's full, use that, method to get into your server. Now, here's another thing that I have seen many people question. So if we open up the backpack and we go down to character, you're going to see down here extra characters. So the game is very confusing when you're leveling up about changing classes. It implies that you can, but it's not very helpful when it comes to figuring out how. So the problem is that you actually have to reach level 50 before you can change class. And when you change class, you have two ways of doing it. You can pay IRL money and switch over all your gear. It's kind of like a one-time transfer thing, right? Where you basically become the other class and you give up all your stuff. Or you use a little bit of silver and you transfer between classes and you have to gear each of them individually. If we go down to summary, you can see the different classes here. But at level 50, the first one's going to unlock. And at level 60, I believe it said, the next one will unlock. I believe level 60 will be the third character. This way you can slowly unlock all of your characters. So yes, level 50 to unlock your second class. Okay, so I'm going to give you a bit of a bonus tip here. I want to talk a little bit about guild contribution. So guilds in this game, and I know that I've said it definitely for other games. I've played a lot of MMOs over the last 10 years. And I think this is the MMO where the guilds were the most important. Not just because of guild contribution, but there are so many guild events, like guild PvP events, guild PvP/PvE events, guild feast, guild boss hunting in the guild fields. And all of these give you items, right? So guilds are very important. Join an active one. That is a strong tip. But the thing I wanted to get at here was the contribution. I kind of tapped on this earlier, but guild contribution is incredibly important, okay? I understand that it's pretty tempting to blow it all, but I wouldn't recommend doing it. Like, here's a couple of examples. You can buy talent points here, which is what I've done. You can buy items to upgrade your gear. You can buy maps. You can buy crystals. You can buy extremely important things in the store, and it leads you to, blow all your money on it or blow all your resources. But you don't want to do that because you also need it to upgrade. For example, if you open up the guild, you also needed to upgrade the guild research, which I touched on earlier, but you also needed to upgrade your skills as well. So if you go into life skills and try to level this up, you need the contribution. So the tip is here, do not blow all your guild contribution, okay? Join a guild, an active guild that does stuff, and do not waste all your contribution, because I did it early on and I regretted it. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Hopefully today's tips have helped you. Many of these things I learned, pretty deeper into the game, and mistakes I made, for example, the backpack or, not using the contribution points. And hopefully this helps you avoid some of the pitfalls that I fell into. Thanks for watching.